Um, so the most important thing throughout all of this is to think think through the end, right? Have an end in mind, because you have to be able to have an end game in order to stay detached and on course, right? For example, right? If you don't know that you're going to break up with him at the end, what's gonna happen? You may fall in love with him, right? But when you realize your intention, which is to fuck with him, which is kind of cynical, right? But if you know that, that's gonna allow you to remain detached. That's gonna allow you to hide your true intentions, and that's gonna allow you to stay grounded. That's gonna allow you to dive deep into the rabbit hole without getting lost, without falling in love with him, right? But you want him to feel the illusion that you love him, right? And that's through some of the tactics I'm gonna show you. So that's the first thing, having an end goal, right? Another important point that I forgot to include is that make sure that he doesn't have the suspicion that you're trying to manipulate him, because then that's gonna make him be suspicious of you, and anything that you do for a place of suspicion doesn't work, you know. And so if you suddenly stop communicating with him, he's gonna believe that you're trying to use tactics. So make sure you develop the reputation of someone who doesn't do that, who doesn't play games, and of someone who doesn't get any revenge. So make sure you tell stories of guys getting revenge on you, and you being the victim, right? And that's going to negate that one sticking point of don't believe that you're trying to manipulate them, you know, because once someone knows that you're trying to play games, it's over, you know. And so that should be your number one priority, which is hiding your intentions and hiding your true character, which is evil and fuck. Right? So have a crush on a guy that looks different from him. That's the first thing you gotta do, right? Okay, let's say you're with him, right, and he's your boyfriend or whatever, right? Make sure that you communicate to him that you have a crush on. Let's say I'm dark skinned, right? Let's say he looks like me, right? Let's say he's beautiful, right? And and then let's say you like him, right? And he looks like me. Just talk about how you're in love with guys that look like Leonardo DiCaprio or the guy that looks like Thor, right? Even have a picture of him in your phone, whatever. The reason why that's gonna do is that that's gonna make him insecure. Even say that they are your type, right? And have guy friends that look kind of like him. Surround yourself with the guys that look like your type, right? For example, it's kind of like a white guy that's dating a girl and she says she loves black guys, and then most of her friends are black. I mean, what the fuck you think he's gonna think? Do you think he's gonna feel insecure? That's a way for him to actually start feeling that insecurity, that fear of losing you, which is important. All right, so that's the first thing. That with just that thing of having guy friends that are your type, letting him know that, right? And insinuating that you love those kind of guys, which look the total opposite of how he looks. That's gonna really, really, really fuck with him. He's gonna get very insecure, man. I'm telling you. He may even, you know, if he's white and you love black guys, he may start tanning and shit. That's the first step, right? The second thing, the second step. Not the second step. The second thing you could do. So the first thing is thinking things through. Know exactly your end goal, right? Without the end goal, you're gonna get lost. The second thing that you could do is have a crush on somebody else that looks the total opposite of how he looks, right? The third thing you could do, if he broke up with you, let's say he dumped you, right? And you're over him, okay? Let's say he dumped you, and you're over him, and you want to get back to get some revenge. Get back with him, right? Even beg to get back at him, right? Because it's not bad begging if you actually don't like him. You're just doing it just to hurt him, right? So just really want to get back with him and try to convince him to get back with you, and then fuck his friend. Okay, there you go. That's simple, right? I got that from Maury, but that's gonna really fuck with him. You're gonna really fuck with his friendships. You're gonna fuck with his trust issues. He's not gonna trust guys no more. He's not gonna trust women no more. I mean, goddamn shit, right? Especially if you fuck all his friends. Then get back with him. Then get back with him. But make sure of this, right? If you're struggling to get back with him, a tip that I want you to do is never cry in front of him unless you're actually showing strong emotions, right? Like you tell him that you love him for the first time, whatever. I know it's corny, but cry on that occasion, and also cry when, let's say that you guys are, but just don't cry a lot. Why? Because you want to reserve your crying for this, right? Because if you cry a lot, then your tears don't matter. If you don't cry often, your tears matter. By the way, I do one-on-one coaching. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, just go to mindforattraction.org. You'll be able to see the link below. I'm going to Europe in December, so if I'm for live seminars, you guys can also check out the link below for live seminars. And I'm doing a group coaching session where you guys can ask me your questions for a more affordable price. It's also on the link below. So if you barely cry, what's going to happen is that when you cry for the first time, when he caught you cheating, what's gonna happen is like, hey, you're crying. It's gonna, if he likes you, it's gonna evoke emotions in him. It's gonna evoke an emotion in an attempt to try to get to. He's gonna feel bad. It's gonna go from anger to trying to feel bad. If you rarely cry, but if you cry a lot, he's gonna say, "Oh fuck, this bitch is crying again." See what I'm saying? So don't cry that much, right? And when it's time to do that, like to cheat on him, he caught you, cry. You see, and then he's gonna get back with you. Now the thing is that if he gets back with you, he's gonna be very insecure. His self-image, when someone takes someone who cheated on them, their self-image suffers a lot. See what I'm saying? So with that, now he's the one. He doesn't have any control because you're the one who's controlling him. It's not cool, man. But breaking up with someone and then taking them back, even though they did something to you, makes you grow closer. It's not cool though. All right. Another thing that you could do to give a man a taste of his own medicine is to get in the habit of texting, of not responding fast. That's a pet peeve for everyone. But if you're someone who really does that, who's just like that with everyone, particularly with a guy, guys are always gonna protest if you take a long time to text. You know what I'm saying? So if you just really just become someone who if you take a long time to respond to that guy, he's gonna begin asking you to text him back. Right? And then in that moment, you're gonna say, "Look, what the fuck are you doing, man? I don't like this. I don't like this. You're being too needy. If this is how you are, then we can have a problem." Right? Always threaten to break up with him when he brings up that issue and accuse him of being needy. This makes a guy second guess everything that he does around you. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in a place where he is consistently thinking about what to do and what not to do around you. You see what I'm saying? That's where you want to be. All right? The next thing is the 3-step formula, right? The 3-step formula is a simple thing that I teach, and is this. The first step in this 3-step formula is to create comfort and get to know them and let them get comfortable around you. You see, for example, like opening up, staying relevant, sending him random photos once in a while to make it provocative, to provoke him, like photo of your sexy sides and all that sort of stuff. But the point is that you want to create some comfort. You want him to feel wanted. You want him to feel needed. You want him to feel like that he got you, right? That's the point. You want to feel like I finally got her. Then suddenly change and criticize him about something that's accurate and that hits a nerve. Make sure he feels the fear of loss. Dress sexy and have male friends. That's like a side step. But nevertheless, when you criticize him, make sure you're criticizing him based on something that he's actually needs to work on. But be overly aggressive about it. You see, like overly criticize him, overly be very cruel about this, because the thing is that the evilness is going to be conflicting with the goodness that you display to him. In his mind, because he likes you, his mind is going to attempt to rationalize your behavior. He's going to attempt to find a way to keep the peace, to keep this relationship going. So what's going to happen? Rather than dumping you, he's going to lower his self-esteem to stay with you. That's what usually happens. He's got to deal with your bullshit. So what's gonna happen is that once you notice that he fixed his behavior, once you notice that he capitulated to your demands, that he's doing what you tell him to do, that he's responding to your criticism in the way that you want him to respond, then you reward him through apologizing and saying how wrong you were, and reward him when he feels the lowest. You see, because now you're reinforcing this emotional state. When he feels like this, you get the tension. And then you're kind of putting him in a vortex of neediness, and it's not cool. All right. I think this is the next thing that you could do is, and it's a very simple tactic: date a black guy. Okay. If he's white, date a black. Tell him how you love black guys. All right. Literally, if he's black, date a white guy. The next guy, let him see you with a white guy. If he's black, if he's Asian, I think my dog's trying to get in here. Come in. If he's Asian, date a black guy. The point is that nothing makes a guy more secure than seeing somebody else that there's a competition. You see, and again, it's not about being directly evil, but this really does make a guy insecure. If he's skinny, the next guy you date a big guy, and make sure you post a photo of how he looks so that he can see. Again, you want to say something? Okay, you don't want to say something. You want to sniff. That's one thing you could do. The next tactic is making a bold move. This is to develop your reputation. This is so he can know who you are. Make a bold move. Be known as someone who is willing to break up with him instantly at the drop of the hat. Be known as someone who could wake up one moment and say, you know what, I'm not interested in you. He has to feel that. You see, for example, the way you could do this is tell a story of doing it, to somebody else. Tell a story of doing it to somebody else, and then tell them this can happen to you too. It's not that I hate you, but I just feel like that sometimes. You see? The point, be detached. This will enable you to actually wait till he comes back begging, right? So when you're known as someone who breaks up with somebody instantly, and the thing is, you got to do it. You see, you really have to do it at least once. In his mind, he's gonna be like, "Fuck, she can do it again." You see, and the more you threaten to break up with him, the better. Yo, this is fucked up. How many times have I said that? All right, so it's pretty much, it's known to be, it's kind of like having let's say you're a slave and having a master who could suddenly just whip you out all of a sudden. You're gonna be in fear consistently, and the fear of loss, that is what you want in him, right? The next thing is, don't commit to him and be half in a relationship and half polygamous. See other people, then let them know that you've only loved one guy. Set the standard high. For example, you want to let them know that you don't want to see anyone, that most guys don't interest you, that and that you like them, but that you want to see other people, right? But at the same time, let them know that you once loved someone. Let them know that somebody once won your heart because they were awesome people. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing, is that when you do that, especially if you actually had an ex you actually loved and you're still friends on Facebook with him, this would really fuck with a guy. I mean, honest to God, like. What he's gonna say to himself is that why doesn't she love me? Why does she love him and not me? What's wrong with that? And then his mind is gonna naturally create insecurities. He's gonna say maybe because of this, maybe it's because of that. I don't know. The point is that when you begin doubting yourself, your self-esteem immediately begins to lower. So don't commit to him. Be half and half. Don't say say that you really like him, but that you're seeing other people in the beginning. You know? And again, that's gonna make him want you more, right? And say that you want to commit to him, but that you only being able to love one person. It's fucked up, right? But don't say it's your fault. It's just how you are. And this is gonna make him want you more. This is all entertainment purposes. When you know he loves you, insult him on pain. Insult him on a pain that's harsh and personal, and then say sorry. And then say sorry in a way that he can't say no. This pattern will torture you. It's very similar to the one I talked about, right? The 3-step formula. But this is more about when you know that he loves you, when you know that you guys are together, even when you live together, right? If you really are planning to break up with him, then if you want to torture him for the short while and get permanent damage, do this. This is really fuck with him. I'm telling you, man. Like, this is not. For example, it's kind of like if you say you're dating a short guy who has a small dick, right? Insult him on his small dick. It's stuff like that, right? And then apologizing and saying absolutely sorry, saying that it's my fault. I never get like this. I don't know why, and really try your best to apologize. Because now, if he does apologize you, with apologizing you goes his self-esteem, it lowers. And the last thing. Get him to love you through going back with him and then break up with him and then friend zone his ass. So, if let's say you dumped the guy, let's say a guy dumped you, right? Try to get back with him, right? Let the relationship get good, be really good with him, and then break up with him, so that now you're in a position of power, and then friend zone him, and then say we should definitely. I'm thinking of getting back together, but let's just be friends first. If he does decide to be friends with you, guess what? Now you put him in a position where you can really fuck with him. You can talk about seeing other guys. You can talk about doing this, doing that. I'm telling you, man, this is something that's not cool. This is all entertainment purposes. But, this, if you really want to fuck with someone, this is how you do it. And the most important thing is being able to conceal your intention and being psychotic enough not to give a fuck.
Like a bowl.
So, it says, I started seeing a guy 9 months ago. He had recently broken up with, and I just got back into dating after a 3-year break. Okay, so recently started seeing a guy 9 months ago. He had recently been broken up with, and I just got back into dating. The fuck? Time out. I started seeing a guy 9 months ago.
he had recently been broken up with, and I just got back into dating after 3 year break. Okay. After I asked if he felt like he was rebounding with me, and he said that he already had been out with a couple girls and felt that I wasn't a rebound. Okay. We had a lot of chemistry and get along very well. Good for you. All right. After the first date, he took the whole week off from work. He's a paramedic. But after hanging out back for so many days, he said that he thought things were moving too fast. It almost felt like a relationship and he wanted to slow things down. I agreed. No, you didn't. Um, he then said he wanted to be friends with benefits. The next day, he said that it was just word vomit and he didn't mean it. He saw potential in becoming a real relationship. Wow, okay. He's really caring and considerate, but he randomly switches from hot and cold a lot. He's bailed on me twice. What? And I know it was to go on a date with someone else, most likely. One time we were drinking, and he said he wanted to make this an official relationship, only to say a couple days later that it's too soon, and he was drinking and felt emotional. All right. He's someone who suffers from ADHD, depression, and anxiety, which I'm been really sympathetic about. Fuck that shit. I ain't sympathetic of you being inconsistent with me. There's no sympathy there. I get annoyed and pull away time to time when I feel like he's being cold. Afterwards, he goes back to normal. So clearly, you got to go cold in order for him to go back to normal. That's a red flag. We went from seeing each other a few times a week to every week, now every other week. I thought he might be busy, but this last time, when he asked to hang out, I said I was busy that day. After which he kept on suggesting sooner and sooner days, which means he was available to hang out sooner, but just didn't want to. Yeah, I got annoyed and told him I couldn't hang out at all, and that I'm really busy with work and study. After that, I've been really cold with him. And so is he. We're both still on dating sites. I'm just not interacting with anyone else at the moment. He started following this new girl after I started pulling away. He knows that I'm more interested in relationships, and I feel he might just be keeping me on the side by saying he is as well, but not meaning. Oh, I don't know. Possibly. Who knows? It's hard for me not to see things clearly. It's hard for me to see things clearly, not because I really like this guy, but I also struggle with anxiety and depression and generally overthink. There have been plenty of times where I have been wrong about the situation, and it was because my anxiety prevented me from seeing things clearly. Ah, good for you for being honest about it. All in all, he's still texting me every other day, really dull conversations. Not really his fault since I'm not putting any effort into it either. He recently texted that he picked up a turkey pepperoni and I want to try it. And if I like to try it, it's kind of sweet since he only eats pork. So I feel like he got it especially for me. Should I just start seeing somebody else? Do you think no? No. I just honestly he's been inconsistent now from the start. Lower your expectations and expect that this is not really going to work out. You know? Because this is not the sign of somebody who is really excited to be with you. Um, Guys don't do this when they like you. They just don't do this type of stuff. So you just have to move on. And generally speaking, continually date people who don't make you feel insecure. Continually date people who are consistent. That is pretty much the key. Just find somebody who's consistent. Like consistency should be the number one thing you should look for in a guy. Because if he's consistent, it always means there's somebody else, or he's settling, or he don't like you that much. So if you have feelings for him, I would suggest not continuing. But if you don't have any feelings for him, and you could use him in terms of being with him while you find somebody else, then go ahead. But if you have feelings for him, it's better to cut it off so that they don't get any more intense. All right, that's my answer to you.
All right, so if you're a nice girl, if you're tired of being played, if you're tired of people not respecting you, if you resent that people don't take you seriously, if people just see you as a sex object, if you feel like people are always playing you, I would highly recommend you check out this course called Nice Girl. I rarely put out courses, and every one of my courses is a specific purpose. Psychological game of attraction was just for single people. Natural chemistry was for women in relationships. This course is for specific nice girls. Now, most of you guys are nice. Most of you guys have great hearts. Unfortunately, men take advantage of you. So I have this limited time course. Specifically, you guys can only buy it and get access to it July and November. Now, if you purchase it in July or November, you could have access to it all year round. But you could only purchase it July and November. So this month only, you guys can purchase this course. It's only for a limited time, right? So in this course, you're pretty much going to learn about how to set boundaries, how to project a powerful presence, how to create healthy boundaries, how to communicate yourself in an assertive way, how to not let people take advantage of you. Like you're gonna learn the art of how to identify those who are trying to take advantage of you, how to assert yourself, signs of weakness, signs of strength, and how to communicate signs of strength, and how to lower the signs of weakness. All of these things, I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, look, okay? If you just do what this course says, just doing what this course says is gonna improve not only your dating life, but your professional life, your personal life, your social life with your friends and family. Because people will always try to test you. People will always see whether or not they can take advantage of you, even a fucking child. So by purchasing this course, you could create a healthy immune system. There are three types of immune system. There is your body's immune system. There is an emotional immune system that you increase through meditation. And then there's a social immune system that is through self-assertion. Okay, so this course will help you build that social immune system to push away certain behaviors from your life and certain people, and by default you attract the right people. So check out that course. One, it's not okay. Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not gonna it's not gonna fix the problems 100%. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm here to give you realistic expectation. Okay, it's not gonna it's not gonna completely change your life from day to night. But if you do what the videos say, okay, if you're 20% not if you're at a 20% in terms of assertiveness, by finishing this course, you could go through it 40%. Now you guys might say, where are the evidence for it? In my life only, okay? And through people's experience through applying these methods, and through doing research about what actually helps assertiveness. Okay, so I thoroughly researched this course. I put a lot of thought into it. It's not complete. Next month, I'm going to add another part, which if you buy it now, you're going to have access to it. Okay, so I'll see you guys inside that course, and stay toxic, my friends. Purchase it now, or I'm closing the channel. Okay, see you guys inside.